Actually, I got a call from a friend of mine telling me that my whole building was engulfed.
I ran up to the building, into the building to hit the doors that I could without running into the smoke and the flames.
The fire moved mercilessly, trapping people and pets inside. Tammy and Niket frantically searched for her daughter.
Police couldn't find her. Nobody could find her. They thought she was still in the building.
Firefighters went in, pulling out this woman suffering from smoke inhalation. A dog was also returned to its worried owner. Then, without warning, over the radio came the worst. Firefighters saying one of their own was hurt.
They were conducting interior operations, and one of the ceilings partially collapsed, and he's down at State Medical now in relatively good condition.
Despite the dangers, crews went back in. No sign of stranded residents. They instead brought out more animals.
Hi, Spike. What a good boy. Hi.
Victoria Conklin breathing a sigh of relief.
I've been crying for like 3 or 4 hours. This is Spike, and this is Keisha, and I thought that they were gone. I really did.
Not every family would be so fortunate. The alarm sounding for firefighters to evacuate before the roof caved in. There'd be no more rescues, and that's when the phone rang.
And I just got a call a few minutes ago that she's fine. They found her at the gym.
Niket's daughter's safe. The 10 departments on scene would fight this one from a distance. The flames just too intense to place anyone else in harm's way.
Big relief that she's been found.
Tropical Storm Irene has the Deerfield River in Franklin County running well above normal. The raging water causing local brooks and streams to overflow, flooding streets in Buckland and Charlemont.
They came pounding on our door about 10:30 and said we needed to get out, that the river was cresting and going over the banks. As soon as we looked out, it was utter mayhem down the street. There was trees coming down, and it took out a mobile home.
The rising waters forced Tim Aston and his neighbor Matt Thompson to leave their Lower Street homes in Buckland. They were lucky they got out, but an elderly couple next door wasn't able to escape fast enough.
And unfortunately, they didn't heed the warning, and the fire department had to come and try to get them out. They tried to leave, and their car was up to the fenders in mud, and then the water came.
This is the Cleason Brook on Route 112 in Buckland, and as you can see, it's running hard and fast, throwing debris up onto the street here, and the water has risen so much it's flooded out part of the street, closing it off, and left homes surrounded with water. The woman driving this minivan also had to be rescued on Route 112. The rushing water left her stranded and literally washed away part of the road. Just a little further down the road, water was also flowing right through Atherton Farm.
Down by the river, it's up about 10 or 12 feet.
The Deerfield River is right across the street from Evan Banville's house. He says the water came up quickly. As you can see, the water rushing downriver, bringing all kinds of debris with it. Tree limbs, logs, bales of hay, even empty canoes.
On duty on the streets, a lot can happen in an 8-hour shift.
How you doing, Jody?
Good, how are you?
Sergeant Jody Casper sees it on foot.
160 dispatch. You guys will love this.
And from the car. Here she's investigating a B&E, breaking and entering.
Okay, what were you guys doing down in the meadows?
Turns out she's got a cluster of a case.
How much have you had to drink today?
This man admits drinking and driving on a suspended license. He tells police he just polished off a 40-ounce beer. Detectives find it down the road in front of the garage that was robbed.
There was a break-in down here. Okay, someone reached in and grabbed some beer. It's not the crime of the century, but we have a witness that saw it happen. The beer's in the back of your truck.
The empty cans confiscated as evidence. The man and his 16-year-old stepbrother are arrested.
This is where our highest call volume is.
We go back on patrol and up to the tracks.
If you want to know what's going on in your community, you just look at the trash.
Casper says drugs are a constant problem here.
Been searched by police before, okay.
Not far away, police would later pick up a known heroin dealer, telling us in this case he's arrested because he's also a sex offender who failed to register.
Respond to Glendale Road.
Next, we hop in the car with Sergeant John Cartledge.
153. You can clear me off of that and I'll be responding.
He's headed to an accident on the Northampton-East Hampton town line. When we arrive, the driver is out of the car, her leg bleeding.
Yeah, you can have the ambulance continue.
The driver tells police she fell asleep at the wheel. Striking a utility pole, it nearly breaks in half. The car lands on its roof, live wires on top.
We're going to need national grid out here.
The power company reports it'll be a while before they can respond, but our 8 hours are over, our eyes opened. Police work, it seems, never really done. It's a game that can make you feel young at heart. And Larry Hassenfuss believes he can compete against players more than half his age.
I told my wife, I came home from the first practice and I said, I'm twice as old as these kids. And she said, no, you're 3 times as old as these kids.
At 58, he's the oldest rookie on the Springfield College JV baseball team.
I think it's a great thing, and it's been a very interesting ride.
But Larry's journey, his field of dreams, if you will, is bigger than baseball.
I always hated school because it was so difficult for me.
Larry is dyslexic, though he didn't know it till about 6 years ago. Still, he ran for state rep and secured a spot on his town select board. In fact, the dyslexia never really stood in his way until he lost his job and the government paid for him to go to college.
Basically, I hadn't done a reading assignment or a writing assignment ever.
Larry's son got him voice recognition software to help with those papers. And all year long, he's commuted an hour to class, dedication that's paid off in the form of straight A's.
I got a letter saying I was on the dean's list, and I said, I'm on the dean's list? I've never been on the dean's list. This is absurd, you know. So it made me think that this is the first time I've been academically eligible to play college sports.
So Larry took another leap. Bringing his old school delivery to tryouts, he made the team, and his mustache made an impression.
Since 1970, hasn't shaved it. When I saw that, I mean, I had to do it.
In fact, the whole team rallied around Larry the lefty, who in this, the last game of the JV season, got to close out the final inning with his famous knuckleball.
Just a great feeling to be out there and, again, to actually be on the mound.
2 pops and a grounder later, it seems Larry's lone collegiate season is over. He's fast-tracked to graduate in December, but for now, he revels in living the dreams of his youth and inspires another generation along the way.
It's just something that's real special to me, and I won't ever forget.
In Springfield, Kathy Reynolds, ABC 40.
In the water park and cool down.
It's way too hot outside to be inside.
It feels awesome. It's refreshing all the way.
It is so hot, but it's cool in here. I like to do the big slides.
How is it?
Cold.
What are you doing to cool off?
Going down the water slides.
It feels great.
It's very hot and I'm really sweaty right now.
Where would you be if you weren't here?
In Wisconsin.